Hamashiach Yasha'Allah. And also, the second day, brothers went to the camp in Chicago, downtown Chicago. Okay, who was there? Was everybody there? That was a beautiful camp. A lot of brothers were there. Let's get them on side. Now we're going to shine hands for that. The camp was beautiful. Okay, and the brothers, the young brothers spoke, and they spoke well in the spirit. And we do this every summit. And then, of course, today is the actual summit. We had the service in the beginning. We have the summit now. And then, of course, tomorrow is what? The barbecue at Washington Square Park. So don't forget that. We're all going to be there. And that's going to be a beautiful thing in the spirit of Hamashiach Yahweh. So let's give the Most High a hand for that. But that's how it normally goes. The 4-day summit. This is our 13th summit. How about that? When brothers, when there was negative, when there was malice and hate talk about the summits, didn't mean nothing. It's not in the spirit of the Most High. But here we are. The 13th summit in Chicago. And Chicago is like second to none to Israelite camps. So second to New York to Israelite camps. Israelite camps all over Chicago. Okay? Israelite camps in New York also. But now we realize that there are Israelite camps all across America. And Israelite schools all across America. And so what did the Most High show us? Okay? When the brothers started the Hebrew summits, the Most High showed us that we need to bring some structure and order to these Hebrew camps, Israelite camps, and Israelite schools all across America. You got to bring some order to it, brother. Okay? Because with the advent of social media, I came in the truth in '84 when there was no social media at all. Okay? There was no YouTube. Nobody knew what YouTube was. There were no cell phones. All right, but Nehemiah can tell you, Zakwan can tell you, Karash can tell you, there was no cell phones, there was nothing like that. All right? We had to really study. We had to get our books, we had to go to the library, steal some books, you know what I'm saying? And go to the bookstore, steal some books, or buy the books, I had one. And then we had to study. We had to study and go home and actually meditate and study on the scriptures. But now it's what? Google it. Okay, you want a scripture? Google it. See how fast? Instantaneous. It's right there. Huh? Blue letter. Yeah, blue letter. So we didn't have that. So we had to go and study. If a brother come to me and want to speak, and I'm speaking, and he said, "Brother, I'll read for you," and he come up with his phone, I'm gonna say, "Brother, get the hell out of here." How you gonna read scriptures to me with your phone? It ain't gonna work with me. You gotta open up a book, you know what I'm saying? And go through them chapters and get them verses and begin to read the Hebrew word of the Most High. Come? All right, the word of Yahweh. So that's how it's been. And so from '84 all the way up until now, brother, the Most High has had His Spirit on me and been in this truth. And you got all these brothers up here in this panel. A lot of these brothers, the Most High showed us that we need a council, that we need brothers who've been in this truth steady, going on year after year after year after year, steady for 20, 25, 30 years straight, 35 years straight. And so the Most High said, you're gonna set up a structure, you're gonna set up a Hamashiach, then you need a council, you need brothers that are diligent, you need brothers that are carry this thing forward, but in the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. Because it can only be done in the spirit of Hamashiach. It can only be done that way. It can't be done by no other spirit. Okay? And by no other name, the Most High teaches that we're going to gain salvation. We know it ain't Jesus, and we know, understand? So he said by no other name, so we know that's not the name. And we know Jesus comes from Zeus, and Zeus is Satan, so we know it ain't Jesus. Alright? We're talking about Hamashiach Yahushua. You know it ain't Savior. Okay, so that's what it's done by. And so the Most High said, choose brothers who've been in this truth and have some diligence, all right? Have some understanding, all right? Have some maturity and have some discipline, all right, about themselves. And these brothers have been in the truth for a long time. So this is the council, all right, of the Hamashiach Yahshua. And I just want, for right now, for the brothers to stand up, all right? For all the brothers to stand up. Yeah, we got to stand up, okay? Guerrilla Hebrew, all the brothers to stand up, all right? These are the brothers here in the Most High. About the Spirit of Yahushua showed us the chose, and we always said there's going to be more brothers on this council. There's going to be more brothers, because it's not just these brothers, it's your brothers too, and sisters also. Okay, this is a whole nation, but you gotta start it out with, you gotta structure it and put it together, all right, so that we can go forward and begin to apply the blueprint of the Most High. All right? What did the Most High tell tell Moses? Moses, get men like what? Like yourself. All right? Officers like yourself. Elders like yourself. To put this thing in order. Because Moses, if you do it by yourself, what's going to happen? You're going to kill yourself. All right? You can't handle 600,000 people, 1 million people by yourself and all their problems and issues. So we got to get brothers like-minded and elders and officers in the spirit of Mashiach to begin to form this thing and put it together. And so this is why the Most High said, okay, here it is. Get brothers that have been in this truth for a while and they've been steady into it. And all these brothers can form a camp or got their own schools, Israelite camps and schools all across America, brother. All right? They're not just in one city. These brothers in different cities of America. Come? And so that's what we did. Because why? This is what the Mashiach, the government of Israel. So it ain't just one camp. It's many camps and many Israelite schools coming together. Because why? Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together. Right? Isaiah 45:20, assemble yourselves together. All right? Hebrews 10:25, forsake not the coming together in unity. All right, come? So this is why we did it like this. And so these brothers are intelligent. They've been in the truth for a long time. They had the spirit of the Most High and Yahushua in them. And so that's why the Most High and Yahushua chose these brothers to be on this council. But the Most High and Yahushua are going to choose a lot of you brothers also. Okay? And we have many different camps under the Mashiach Yasha'Allah. So the Mashiach Yasha'Allah started about 5 years ago in Washington, D.C. We had the first Hebrew Summit. We had a Hebrew Summit in North Carolina, Hebrew Summit in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Hebrew Summit in Ohio, Summit in Texas, Summit in California, Summit in San Diego. All right? And in some of these states we had it twice. So here we are now in Chicago. Okay, so let's give the Most High Yahweh we're in Chicago. And it's a blessing. And we thank the brothers. And we had the one in Atlanta, all right, in January, and that was a blessing also, again, by the help, okay, by the brothers linked with the Mona, okay. They own that facility down in Atlanta, and it was a fantastic, by the Spirit of Yahushua, summit, okay. And so this one also, successful summit, and we're glad to see you brothers and sisters make it out here, okay. Through all the trials and tribulations, we're glad to see you here. And we love you, brothers and sisters. And just stay diligent. All right? Stay in tune. All right? Stay focused also in the spirit of Yahushua. Stay focused. Because you're going to need that focus ability in these last days. And stay in your prayers. Pray for your families. Pray for your wife. Pray for your children. Pray for the nation of Israel. You ain't got to pray for the destruction of the white man. That's coming anyway. That's going to come. That's going to happen. But pray for yourselves. Pray for our people. This is what Yahushua wants. Pray for unity. Pray for love. And pray that the Most High bring Israel together and that the grace and mercy of the Most High is upon our people in these last days. Because why? Jacob's trouble is coming. The trials and tribulations, the great tribulation period, all that is coming. And it's going to be trials upon our people in these last days. Okay, trials. And this is why we got to come together. Okay? Because we got to protect one another out here. Okay? And by us going against one another and fighting against one another, that defeats, all right, that brings in Satan and that defeats the purpose of the unity that we're supposed to have. So, with that, I want to announce all the brothers that are on this council, okay, and that these brothers, they're going to give this specific departments that they're in and that they work towards and that they're going to move the departments forward and they're going to tell you what they're working on and their specific departments. Okay? So before I go through that, I just want to say one other thing. The Mashiach Yasha'Allah has grown, all right, into its own entity, let's say. We used to have host camps and host Israelite schools. Now we're grown to where it's known out there, the Mashiach Yasha'Allah summits. And so the next summits we're going to have, all right, we're going to put the word out. You're going to get that. And the next following summits after that, we're going to put the word out. And we're going to come together and build this nation up. We have made some advances. The Most High was able to put the Spirit on us to build and create a flag for the Mashiach Yasha'Allah. So let's get the Most High a hand for that. All right, and you see the flag, brother. We didn't have this flag when we first started. But the spirit of the brothers were able to come together and say, we need a flag. Because why? We're claiming what? government. All right? And we know Yahweh Shai is going to be over that government. Through the Spirit, Yahweh Shai is the leader of it. But we have to work to put it together. Come? And so, what does it say? Mashra Sha'al, government of Israel. In the Hebrew, you got the menorah in the middle, and you got the 12 tribes of Israel together. All right? Yeah, and the colors. Correct. The colors are the colors of the tabernacle. You read in Exodus, the tabernacle the Most High commissioned Moses to make, and had the 12 tribes of Israel bring their jewelry and bring their gold so they can make the tabernacle and the mercy seat. All right, and the what you call it, the tabernacle of where Aaron's rod was in, and the Ark of the Covenant. That's what I meant, the Ark of the Covenant. So, but the colors of the curtain and everything was these colors: the purple, the red, and the blue. Con? So that's why we got these colors. If you didn't know why we got the colors, that's why we got these colors. But so that brings what? That shows the unity. That shows that we're trying to bring together a nation. Every nation got a flag and got a symbol, right, Con? And so it's high time for us to do the same thing. Bring it together, all right, as a nation. And so, and this nation now, and this Marshall Allah is going to be international. We're going to take it from here, and we're going to bring it to where? Mount Zion, Jerusalem, Israel. Con? All right, it's headed that way, brother. Okay, con? The Most High said He's going to redeem this in Mount Zion. So salvation is going to be in Mount Zion, Jerusalem, Israel. Because that's your land, not America. America's not your rest. Okay? That's your land. And also your language. Okay? Hebrew is your language. That has to come back. You have to understand that also. Come? All right, Hebrew is your language. Your land is Israel. And your identity is your Yasha Allah. You're a Hebrew Israelite. Come? Okay, so the Most High has blessed us with the flag. All right, and we have that. And so, and also we've risen up to these brothers on the council. So there's a structure in place now. And we're moving and it's building and it's building and it's building. Come? And so if you're not going to come in to the understanding that this is the government and that Yahweh Shai is forming, what's going to happen? You're going to be left out. You're going to be isolated out of the government. Okay, so we got to understand that. So that's why we go around the country every 3 or 4 months trying to have these martial arts summits to bring brothers in and let brothers know that Yahweh Shai is serious. It's forming now. It's forming now. As we speak, this is the formation of the government of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Come? Okay? All right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to start with brothers. We're going to start from our right, and we're going to go down the line, and the brother's going to give you this specific. No, we're going to start with number 1. You're right. Yakanam. Okay? We're going to start with number 1. Get to Mike, Yakanam. Yeah. The brothers on the council can sit now. And so, Yachanan, he's head over the security department, and he's the military department, and he's going to go over the training department for the martial arts. Okay, go ahead, Yachanan.
All praises. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Y'all gotta bear with me. I'm not much of a talker, but I do want to come before you and just kind of explain the Israelite Trooper program that we got going on. This will be the 6th one we have done. The majority of them have been in North Carolina. We've also been in Sacramento. Now, what we offer is different type of terrain training and different types of climates as it relates to survival. You know, my experience in the military and my Tazadak as well, we are the facilitators of martial art Yasha'Allah as it relates to the trooper program and security. So I just want to explain, you know, it's very necessary. You know, you got a lot of people talking about we don't need to train, we don't need to do this. And like I said, I'm going to die with this statement. Physical analogies to convey spiritual truths. You have to show yourself, you have to do something. So what we offer a discipline and showing brothers unity like it talks about in Psalms 133. We're not just getting out there and just, you know, doing a bunch of exercising and things like that. That's survival for our nation. As the other Akim, one of the officers brought out earlier in the Shabbat class, he was talking about what's going to happen if somebody passes out even in camp. You know, we're not thinking about, you know, restoring our people even back to health based on the knowledge that the Heavenly Father has given us. So the Most High has put the Spirit on men. We're gathering together, not just as individual people, but as efficient units and effective units to protect our nation. So that's what the Trooper program is all about. And I don't want to get into a whole lot of details, but just come on out. You know, the Most High is dealing with doers. We're going to have an introduction to the boot camp. That will be on McCarr on tomorrow at 8 a.m. And it will be at the same place that the cookout or the barbecue is at. So all the brothers that are interested, this is an introduction. And then you get some more of the details there. But again, if you pass out while you out on the block teaching, the Most High forbid, do the Akim no CPR, as the brother mentioned. That's what we teach. We got brothers that have been equipped and have the experience. Even if you get a severe wound, who are you going to call? You going to call your enemy? Or come help me. You just finished calling him the devil. And the Bible speaks of. You think he's going to run up to you like the elder was talking about, be serious about your health? No, we have to look out for one another. So give me Exodus 19, read 6 through 8 real quick. So it's very important. We have a kingdom, we have a rulership. So Akim, I need you to come out if you're interested, but you got to be willing. The Most High didn't pull anybody's teeth. If you're not willing, if you don't see the necessity to come out here and do your due diligence and be a servant to the Most High as a protector of your nation, of your women, of your children, of your brother, you know, we're out there and we're even in all types of terrain. It's conveying to us, man, when I'm doing night watch, everybody stays up. We're not sleeping out there in the wilderness. We're watching our brother as he sleeps. That brings us closer together, knowing that you got your brother's back and knowing that he has yours. And we're learning to trust one another. We got to start to do that because we see all this division. Let me tell you, the spirit of division is in Chicago. It's in Chicago. This is a whole city of devices against Yasha'Allah. So we got to be that example, like Zaquan Barak was bringing out. Read what you got.
Exodus 19 and 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their faces all these words which the Most High commanded of him. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Most High have spoken, we will do.
That's the problem with Yasha'Allah. We don't want to do nothing. We want all the benefits, but we don't want to do nothing. We don't want to put in the time. We don't want to put in the labor. It's going to take work. Let's come on out, Akim. Let's go in. Let's dig in. Let's experience what it's going to be like in the wilderness. Yeah, it's hot in here, but it's going to be hot out there. It's going to be worse. It's going to be far worse. And if you can't stand the heat, how is gold tried? In the furnace of affliction. If you ain't never been through nothing, you're not going to be able to do anything. Because when the trials come, you're going to fold. So that's what we're trying to teach, some intestinal fortitude. That's what we lack. Give me Romans, matter of fact, give me Luke 19:17. I'm in with that. Like I said, I'm not much of a talker, but I'm more of a doer. So we just need to start doing more and talking less. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, come on, bring it up.
And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in very little, have thou authority over 10 cities.
So we got to start with the little. What they say, some people do it too much. But just start. Just start. I'm going to tell you something. Whether you believe it or not, Hamashiach Yahushua is king. All right? A lot of people say, I don't believe in Hamashiach Yahushua. Guess what? He don't believe in you. If you ain't doing nothing, he don't believe in you either. The scripture tells you that guess what's going to happen? All those that don't want me to reign over them, they'll bring them hither and slay them before me. He your king whether you realize it or not. You're going to see that. We're going to see that. That's what we're waiting on. Read on.
And the second came, saying, Most High, thou pound hast gained 5 pounds.
Where are you? Go to 27.
But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me.
All right. Give me one more, Romans 2:13. And Elder Barak told me don't be too short. A lot of times I just get up here and take off, but again, we got work to do. Let's go ahead. Read Romans 2:13. Call where you at.
2:13 Romans. For not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High.
Not the hearers of the law are just. Come on.
But the doers of the law shall be justified.
So doing. So with that, I say shalom. Let's start doing. Akim, come on out on my car and do your due diligence.
All right.
Again, it's going to be 8 a.m. where the barbecue is. All right.
All right. So that's Yakanan, the head of security and the training department. And it's very important. You're not a nation until you have what? A military. Okay? You're not a nation until you're military. You can say you're a nation all you want, but if you have the military, the next nation will come and take your nation over. So you're not a nation until you have the military. So that brother's part of the military, and he's gathering brothers together. The security department is gathering brothers together. So he said tomorrow is going to begin the training department, and the young men tomorrow morning show up at the park, right? The Washington Square, Washington Park. And then Yakanan will take you further what you got to do. So the young men, we're talking about young brothers in the congregation.
20 and up.
Okay, 20 and up. Okay? This is what we do every summit. And brothers are joining in, as every summit comes, they're joining into the military. Come? That's the way we have to do it right now. Okay? So the next brother, okay, which is Karash. All right, stand up, Karash. This is a brother that's over the history department, and he's a counselor. Okay? So every Israelite brother and sister that has an issue or a problem, the Mashiach Allah has a brother that can counsel you individually. I mean, we can all counsel you, but individually, if you need to call them, they give you his number and so forth, you need counseling, this is the brother that can do it. This is Karash. Karash goes all the way back. He is over 30 years in the truth. Okay, we all came up together, and the brother's very intelligent with the Most High and the word of Yahweh Shai and the Gospels. Okay, Karash, go ahead.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Yeah, I'm going to read the scripture, Proverbs 8:14-17. So I deal with a lot. I've been dealing with counsel ever since when I was young. And so now when I came to Israel, I pretty much took upon myself to people who come to me with counsel, and I was part of the Mount Zion camp, the many camps of the ISUPK that was in New York. And the young brothers coming in, we was counseling, and a lot of brothers that I would get in groups, because the counsel that we do is not a counsel of just me, it's of the Most High. And different brothers got different ways of dealing with, like young brothers, I'll let them deal with the younger generation, older ones, sisters, and try to see what kind of counseling they need to really open them up for whatever is marriage, children, whatever we need to talk about. But this is not about me. It's about what the scriptures are saying. Proverbs 8:14-17. Read that.
Proverbs 8. Proverbs the 8th chapter, the 14th verse. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me.
First words in that was counsel is mine. Y'all know who mine is, you know what I mean? It's Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's why we look at him. I'm going to go in this Bible and counsel you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. People are like, mine. No, y'all know it's Yahweh Shai. Through Yahweh. And then he trickles it down like Moses to the other men. So when I counsel you, get Matthew's, real quick, Matthew 18:15. This is how we're going to deal with it. So if we want to be these great kings and nobles and priests, Satan's going to come in. And sometimes it's not Satan. Sometimes it's ignorance. Okay? That messes up. It's not always evil. Sometimes it's a little word. You counsel somebody. They're going to be like getting 20 people in a 5-hour council because she couldn't find her shoes or something. One or two words. Just call somebody. So what we're going to do with the counsel of Yahweh, scriptures to guide us, and us to be in the multitude of counselors, there's safety. we're going to find that answer for our people. And so I'm just one of the ones that's going to be a point man for that. So read that Matthew 15 and 18. Sorry, 18 and 15.
Matthew's the 18th chapter, the 15th verse.
Down to 17.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
That's the first thing you should do. This is counsel now. If you got a problem, go straight to the person. Don't be envious. Don't be afraid. Whoever it is, try to work it out. Because sometimes you can work out between the both of y'all without going to the next level. You see? Don't render evil for evil. That doesn't work with us. We're Israelites. Love for love. That's why the last part we read was the Lord loves those that loves him. If you don't love the Lord ain't going to love you. And the Lord cannot love you better than you cannot love him. Okay, really, he can really get really down into your spirit. You hate the Lord, or you want to hate, you want to see some hate, the Lord will show you some hate. So we all have to humble ourselves down to the Lord's order. So one-on-one, read on.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more.
Yes, you don't want to lose your brother or sister. You want to gain them back to Christ. Christ is trying to gain us every day. He tells us different ways. Come on back, because if you don't come to me, there's no other way. Show me a better way out here for us. Negroes, Indians, Hispanic, Latinos, what's a better way? Islam? Hindu? Buddha? What's better? Trump? Ain't nothing better but this word right here. Read on. Okay, so take two other people, a witness. So maybe someone looking outside the box can help rectify the situation. A lot of times it's very simple in Israel. We just make things hard. We've been doing it for the last 3,000, 4,000 years. When you read the Bible, like, how did we go off? Because it was so simple to do this, but brothers, sisters do that, and here we are in captivity under Edom. So that was 2:17, right? All down. 16, 17.
We're in 16, verse part of 16.
Yeah.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
Okay, so that's the order how we're coming. So you know when you're coming to deal with any Israelite group, Mashurah, whoever, this is how we all should be dealing, and this is how we're coming. And there's other scriptures, but this is just one. I want to be here for an hour. But my phone number, a lot of people know my phone number, been free. So if y'all want to call me personally, it's 614-370-1813. 614-370-1813. And I do a lot of counseling, just putting out stuff on Facebook. So if you don't come on in, sometimes you come on in, you get your question answered right there on Facebook. And somebody just drop it and read it. Sometimes they ask a question, I go into it. So that's, you would write my name, Harash Yashar, CHAARASH, Yashar. And I can see on there, you know, they should, I mean, running around, brothers, wear your shirts. I'm not going to tag you if you wear your shirt. Well, come on, brothers, come on and wear your shirts. You know, come on, show yourself. That's for a woman, that ain't for me. I ain't going to tag you. But, you know, tag you, then you'll see, you know, you can contact me from my number or from there. So, also, Ecclesiastes, don't read it. Ecclesiastes is in the Apocrypha 42 and 17. It says, do all things in writing, whether giving and receiving. So we're going to keep it recorded, you see, so that we can keep track of your case. We're trying to roll the same way Esau did, because Esau got it from us. So it's going to be a process. Make sure you're going to write down what your problem is. If it goes that far, sometimes like one-on-one, it's done orally, verbally. Sometimes you got to write it down. Here's your statement. And get your other party statement. Then we compare notes of what happened. Same what Daniel did with the sister. Trying to be, getting messed up by those 2 priests. And there was no witness. They was trying to catch her on that. All she had was the Spirit of the Lord and the skills of Daniel's lawyer skills. And she got out of that because she might have been dead. So we're trying to come from those stories to try to deal with your situation. And all of us, maybe all three of us are dealing with the situation before, but that's how we're going to do it. So next is so Ecclesiastes 42:7, we do all things in writing, giving and receiving. So next is, when I came in 1988, August, some of y'all wasn't even alive and kids, but I took upon myself to be the resident artist of the Israelite school, UPK, in New York, the original one. Okay, and I just gathered brothers who was into it. Nathaniel and ISUPK was my second. He don't want to tell that, but he's a bad artist. Nathaniel, he's a good artist. And me and him worked. First I started, then I got him in. Then we did it together in Ashar, then my brother Yasharala, and then another brother, two other brothers. Karash Shazar. I haven't seen him since the split. You remember Karash Shazar, light-skinned brother. So we used to do the calendar, the shield that ISUPK used in Philly with the shield and the two swords. I did that. But I let him use it. I'm not trying to get no royalties or nothing. I did it freely, and not like, but you should get paid, man. I'm already getting paid. Riches and honor from the Most High. I don't need no paper. I mean, I do, but I don't need to get it from them, in that way. That'd be low for me, like that. We gonna get a check. I'm not gonna get a check anyway. So, but I did a lot of art for brothers in the spirit of the Most High. I ain't bragging, I'm just giving you information. So I was a professional artist for 2 years with Warner Brothers. Wow. I do Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, T-shirts, babies, bibs, lunch boxes, animation, all the characters you see, Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, and all those people that I was drawing at. So I brought that here, and they fired me because I was making copies using this stuff for Israel. And the boss copied twice. So, let me go, but I brought it all to Israel. And I was just doing it there. But we're going to read the scripture, Exodus 31, 1-6. So I have a coloring book that I've done for the kids. A lot of y'all probably saw it at the time of Israel. I still have that coloring book. Also have papers for the children, like the Hebrew with the pictures of it. It's a workbook, a work paper. Kids can use. Same way you learn in school, ABC, 1, 2, 3. We got to learn our language. Each letter has a picture, a pictorial origin. Like the A or Alap was a head of a cow. So the kids can draw the cow, draw the letter. Because first was the word. Adam heard the word first from the Lord. He was speaking. That's why babies learn and they talk first. Then later they learn the letters. So the alphabet was second. You see? So that's what I teach, basically the kids. Y'all can get these papers. When you call me, I'll give you a little packet and children's materials to help you in Israelite history for the children and for adults too. So let's read Exodus 31, 1-6, and I will come down. These are we all know about these two master artists, right? Who knows the two master artists that we all know about? Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, we all know about them. And we should know about these two guys. These are the two master artists that helped in the design of the tabernacle of Moses. Right. And all coloring and art and the cunning work. These are the two master artists that we should remember. It should be in our mouths. The same way I just said Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, we should be saying Bezalel and Ohio. Bezalel and Ohio. You're going to read about them in Exodus 31, 1-6. Okay? And if y'all need artwork done, I do the designs. I can design this myself. And I had sisters and brothers put it together for me. I design garments and all that stuff. Yeah.
Exodus 31 and 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and have filled him with the spirit of the Most High in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to devise cunning works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. And behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Hasamat, of the tribe of Dan, And in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted, I have put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded thee. Okay?
So these are, that's it. Oholiab, and Bezalel were two master artists of that time, and you can throw in David. He designed a pattern of the temple, right? Did all the artwork and everything, and then he couldn't build it because of the blood, so he gave all that blueprint architect to Solomon to build. And he would be one of the master artists. You can add that name on. But that's, these are things you teach your children. They should know Bezalel and Oholiab, because they say when they're going to find out about these two homosexuals, eventually Michelangelo, that's going to be on their mouth. Okay? And that's a vibration, that's a sorcery. So we're trying to flip that, okay, and make it the spiritual power of the Most High. Also, to end up, we got a sister. Right now I'm staying in, living in Las Vegas. And we have Mount Zion came out there, my stepson right here, Anna, and other brothers were teaching there. Sister named Exodus, and she's an excellent herbologist, stuff for women and men, incense, and y'all can come and get this or I'll pass it out. But deal with her, she's online, and I'm gonna do some of her designs for her packaging too. But I'm giving this out for her. Y'all can pick this up and go hook up with her. She has incense and oils, shampoo, natural toothpaste, and she'll be in the book. So we should patronize our own people as much as we can. You need a plumber, look in the book for Israelite one. Roofer, Israelite one. That's how a nation starts and builds. These are the seeds of the nation of Israel. So that's it for me right there. So y'all know to get contact with me and us and the things that we're doing here.
So that's Courage. Give Courage a hand. Spirit of the Most High. He's a counselor and also an artist and historian also. All right, so brother has many talents. So the next brother is Banyamyan, okay, and the Fafua, okay, Banyamyan. We're going to speak on the Treasury Department, so they're going to bring out some things concerning the Treasury Department. Look, every nation has their own system of treasury, come? Every nation has that. You need that, okay? And every nation has their own type of banking system, come? You need that, okay? David had it, right? We know that. Even when Moses brought us out of Egypt, he had it too, but he had to form it. We were just coming out of Egypt, but he had to form it into the wilderness. Okay? And it was even at the point where he had said, look, take off your gold earrings, take out your silver, take out your brass and bring it to me. They needed resources, so they did, and they went to where? The children of Israel, Yasha'Allah. Okay? Moses didn't bring money down from heaven. Okay? It didn't come out the sky. So where they come, then the scripture said we spoiled the Egyptians, right? So a lot of things we got from out of Egypt. A lot of that gold and silver a lot of those resources came out of Egypt. Just like we're going to spoil America too. Modern day Egypt. Okay, Con? So the Treasury Department is very important when you're talking about building a nation back up from the ground up. Okay, and a banking system. Okay, so Con, come on, Banyama. And Matatu.
Okay, I can say shalom to everybody. Shalom. Peace and blessings. I'm Benjamin over the Treasury Department, and Treasury Department is important. It deals with finance. It deals with a lot of things. It takes finance to travel, to set up functions. It takes a lot of expense. All right. It takes resources. All right. And that's why the scripture said, "A feast is made for laughter, give wine, but money answereth all things." All right. So basically, what we're trying to do, and the process that we're doing here, in charging a fee for the food, is to generate resources for the Mashura Yashurala. So we can have it for expenses and for a lot of future things that's going to be beneficial for the nation. All right. So finance is very important in that aspect. All right. I know sometimes we're going to be here about finance like all, but it's going to be for worthwhile purposes. All right. And also too. Something else I want to add to that, but it's going to come back to me. Go ahead and tell us.
All right, shalom. Still in the Shabbat, right? So,
as Benjamin said about the finance, it's a very delicate subject in Israel. You see, brother, they get robbed, they get raped, they get the door closed on them. But when you're in the spirit of the Mashiach Yahushua, we don't go by that banner no more. And it's come a time when, as a nation of people, we have to trust each other again, which we know is a hard thing to do. So if you have any accountant out there, whether male or female, we need that extra help with this department. So just see Brandon and myself. Huh? And we mentioned about resources. It's to help you individual also. Because one did have the country department, which we still do, where we ship stuff out. Brothers send sisters to me and give them his number, where he's still doing the country department. Right? So that's his office. He's going to speak up on that. And when I finish, I'm going to give you the account number, etc. If anybody wants to contribute, be free to. Huh? But my next department is correspondent. And we have two brothers that never came to the summit today. They moved over there to Turkey. They live over there, move everything. They live there since April, which is Parza and Nathaniel, right? So I'm going to just, brother send me a message. I'm just going to read the paragraph, right? His department is over the diplomacy and discourse. If brother watched, last year the brother went to India. And I don't know if you all see the tribe over there in India, Saleh tribe. A bunch of black people, they said they reached there 5,000 years, they don't know no more history. He went into that community. He's dealing with brothers in that community. And he went over there to Sri Lanka. Right? Sri Lanka is a part of the uttermost part of the earth to us, along with Australia. It's half the map, so-called map what they draw. So the brother from the Mashiach Yahshua, he reached that far. Right? Now he lives in Turkey. He's moving into China, Iran, Iraq, and all those places where, well, we visit our people that this person was there. Because one thing that happened in 70 AD, when Jerusalem was destroyed, the people in Jerusalem, where did they go to? Anybody? In 70 AD, when they tear down Jerusalem, the people that escaped, where did they go? Africa, huh? But Israel is technically Northeast Africa too, but they went further into West Africa. So what about the one that was in Asia? Where did they go? They're still in Asia, right? Still there. It's still there. So they went further up into Asia, like East Asia, up there in Indonesia, in China. They're still there, brothers. You understand me? So this brother now is going to take it upon himself and he's going to go into those areas to see as much people he can convert as possible. Done? And he's 20 minutes away from Ephesus. In Revelation, we read about Ephesus. He's 20 minutes away from there. Right? And again, here's the next thing is on my spirit. Because we put on the Mashiach Yahshua Council in Chicago. It's good to see brothers and sisters out. It's very good. But you have other brothers and sisters come, they couldn't show us enough respect to be here. They keep in camp about 3-4 different camps out there. Last night it was a camp down there, you have brother going the same block. On the same corner we on the same stretch. Not even finish the block, set up a next camp. I heard that brother upset because they never get acknowledged. Brothers, your acknowledgement should come from Christ. That's where our acknowledgement should come from. We can't give you no crown and no palm leaves. We cannot do that, brother. Only thing we can do is we come together as a nation of people and have a dialogue like this. We can't give you no crown. We here, we working, trying to reach to the kingdom of God too. We trying, brother. You understand me? And brothers come here, they couldn't show us enough respect. I see on Facebook all kind of unity camp out there. We would never do that to you and our brothers. We go to function, we stand up wherever the camp is, and we've been to a couple. But that's again, we just need work to be done. And we're going to have a book here for brothers in various camp out there want to be part of the Mashiach Yahshua. We're signed on your name and the camp. Done? Because this is what we say. Listen, There's no need for also be able to come and open a camp in Chicago when we have brothers there.
Right.
We ain't gonna go to North Carolina open a camp when we have brothers there. So one can tell you, I send people to school. I met people in different states and give them to different camp leaders that's in this building. Because what? We become a religion. We become just like Christianity. You have also David there, you have Mount Zion there, same black. You have to stop that, brothers and sisters. When you look at the differences, it's not big. It's not much. It's more ego than differences. It's more ego because everybody wants Moses' seat. Everybody wants to be the main guy. You understand me? That's why the scripture I read today in 2 John 3, we need to lift up our Christ in this world. That's what we need to do. But everybody said they're doing it. But then when you look at the brother deeds and the brother work, it's just like, you don't make no sense, right? As I said earlier, you have brother threatening brother over Nipsey's life. Brothers want to kill brother over Nipsey. Nipsey was a heathen. All of a sudden, I hear brother by research what he is. So if Nipsey was an Israelite, El Selassie was the last king of Judah. Because crowned kings of kings, conquering land of the tribe of Judah, right? So if we're going to go that far, we're going to threaten a brother life over somebody who died to say that person do more for black people in the community. Nipsey also never give nobody life. But when you tell a brother to keep the commandments of God, you give him life. So we forget the objective, but we are friends. Brother will become friends now. Remember, Matthew 26, verse 50, Christ called Judas friend. Friend, where are they coming from? When Judas gave him a kiss. Remember. So we have to be brothers and stand for who? Stand for this. Done? And I say shalom.
All right, so that's Metathua. All right, so that's Metathua Banyamnan over the Treasury Department. And again, it's very, very important because we can't do nothing without resources. Some of you come from different states and everything. Some brothers come here with only a certain amount of money, and then when they get here, they have no place to stay and nothing. We just had that case. No place to stay, anything. And the Masharai Ashala had all the resources that we can put the brother up. Understand? So that's why it's important. We need our own banking system so we can be self-sustaining. And it's nothing. It's nothing. So that's why Banyamdan should have gave out the PayPal account and the Cash App account and so forth, whereas the congregation, you can just easily Cash App $25 in the Marshall account or the PayPal account. And you give it Banyamdan, he'll give it to you. All right? Give it Banyamdan, he'll give it to you. Because that's what we need. Because these summits are going forward. Sometimes we can give brothers the resources to get to the summit. We've had to do that many times. Brother needed money, a bus fare to get to the summit, to the different cities. So we'll do that many times, but if we don't have it, we can't give it to you. But if we build up the resources, and through the congregation, and through all the different brothers who are participating, all right, in the Marshal Allah, and because it's your nation, right, you want to be ready to build your nation, then you would do it. Okay, you would do it. And Marshal Allah be self-sustaining. And so that's just common sense. So this is what we need. So again, Metathua, okay, the correspondence department.
I touch on that.
You touch on that? You okay? Okay. So the next brother, Guerrilla Hebrew. All right. So this is Guerrilla Hebrew. This is Sakari. Everybody know about Sakari? You see him on YouTube. You see him on Facebook. But Sakari, I'm gonna tell you, this brother has been a big help to the Marshal Allah. Okay? Whenever we say we go to a particular city, who do we call to get our facilities and so forth? Sakari. So I want to give Sakari a hand, all right? And this brother's very diligent. He's in different cities, and he has a camp in Chicago. So if you live here in Chicago and you're ready to come to a camp, that's the brother's camp, all right? just get in contact with Sakari and join this brother's camp, okay? And he's under the Marshal Allah, and he got camps in Dallas, Atlanta, San Diego, all over the place. So different cities. But he's now here in Chicago. Come? So Sakari, come on, brother. Brother Hebrew. Come, Brother Hebrew. Give your Hebrew name.
Yeah, man. Hallelujah. My Hebrew name is on the of course. A lot of people forget that though because of the monitor. But whatever, go with what you feel, right? First and foremost, of course, I gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son of Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Beautiful, happy to be here through the Spirit of the Most High. Tremendous summit again, through the Spirit of the Most High, the 13th summit. I just want, can I get a reader? Anybody? Just Matthew 4:16, all I need. I need one scripture. One scripture. Right. You got it? All right, you got it. Matthew 4:16.
Matthew 4:16. The people which sat in darkness saw great light, and to them which saw great light, the people which sat in darkness saw great light, and to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, life is sprung up.
And that's what the scripture that we have, all the Sakari members, we got it on the back of our shirt, is this scripture. It said the people who sat in the region of the shadow of death, they saw the great light. And if there's any place that's a region of the shadow of death right now, on a scale here in America, Babylon is this city here. That's right. Our people, they say somebody's getting shot in this city every 3 hours. Every 3 hours. So us coming here for this summit through the Spirit of God, Yahweh Shai, is that marvelous light appearing to the region that dwell up in the shadow of death. So it's something that the Zaquan Barak, he's been pushing. We need to do Chicago. We need to do Chicago. We need to do Chicago. Then the Most High had it to where he raised up a camp here in Chicago, right? I'm just happy and humbled to be the brother who the camp was raised up under. So I can tell the Zaquan, okay, we got Chicago, we can do Chicago, right? So the Most High manifested this something so the light can appear to those who dwell here in the region of the shadow of death. Is that it on that? Or is it a little more?
And it says, 17th verse. From that time, Yahushua began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Exactly, right? Hamashiach Yahushua, our king, that's what he did. He went to the region of the shadow of death and taught repentance. That's the same thing that we're supposed to do, man. Right? So I'm honored again to be here, man, and to be as a servant to the Most High Yahweh, my king, Hamashiach Yahushua, and the nation of Yasharallah, man. Just breaking this down here, we're sure, every year we have a certain Sakari come with a certain shirt, all right, that's got symbology that's connected to it as to why, the significance it has for each summit, right? So with this one, we got, of course, the Marshal Yasharallah, we have the colors, and it's modeled after the flag of the city of Chicago. Those of y'all who are Chicagoans, y'all know how y'all flag look, right? The 2 blue stripes and then the 4, what some would call stars in the middle, right? So we modeled it after that. We utilized the Marshal Yasharallah colors, of course, the purple, the red, and the royal blue. The Marshal Yasharallah, and then we have the menorah, and then we left one of what they would call a star, right, which is on the flag of Chicago. Why? Because you have the menorah that got 7, and this have 6 points. That equals what 13 is the 13th summit. Then, of course, last we put our camp logo. Why? Because when we come together as the Marshal Yasharallah, we put our camps to the side. Camp is the last important. We're coming together on a national level through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai for this, man. So, like the elder was saying, man, if you're in Chicago, you're trying to get down with the camp, you come see me. I have my little merch table set up later, man, so you come see me back there. Also, if you need your tickets for the food, I got them. I'm the guy to talk to, unless you got a card or a cash app, and you see Elder Ben. Other than that, again, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, and I say shalom.
All right, let's get the Most High, Yahweh Shai, Mr. Carly, Gorilla Hebrew. And then Gorilla Hebrew is a young man also. All right, I don't think he's 30 years old. 28 years old. So he's leading a camp. So with the Most High, yeah, it's not about age with the Most High. It's about the spirit and spiritual gifts. With the Most High, it's not about age. All right, the Most High said wisdom does not always come through the age, right? So it's not about age. So this brother, young man, but he's a leader. Okay. And so the Most High said, the spirit of a prophet is subject unto a prophet. Okay, Most High don't care how old you are. All right? He said he's going to bring this truth and this wisdom unto the mouth of who? Babies. Right? A babe. Babe. That's a babe right there. But he's leading men all over the country. Son? So that's the spirit of the Howard child, right? And so you were like that too, but out of fear, you're afraid to come forward, out of fear, all right? There's no perfect love in fear, remember that. Don't be afraid, all right? Because your Howard got your back, so don't be afraid. Come forward, and don't be afraid of what white folk gonna say about you on your job, and all. Forget that. You know, I got a job, I'm tired now, but I want to quit every day, but I'm tired. And they know I'm a Hebrew, I walk around proud, you know? What's that shield on your neck? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, then they get quiet and we can go on. Well, who are you? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Get quiet and move on. Any other questions? No, they go. They all know I'm a Hebrew. I think they don't even know I'm here at the summit now. I know that the Edomites there, they don't. They know I'm a Hebrew. They don't, you know, but it's your Hawashah. Okay? You got to put your faith in your Hawashah. That's what I said, oh, ye of little faith, because you don't have no faith. The nation showed more faith than some of our people, right? They showed a little bit more faith. So we got to begin to build our faith up and cast off that fear. Okay? You can't build nothing with fear, brother. Okay? You can't build nothing with fear. So fear means you what? That you have no faith. That's what that means. Okay, so the next brother, all right, to come up is Zaquan. All right? Now, the southern Zaquan is over the camp in North Carolina. Okay? Yahweh's camp. But Zaquan been in truth over 30 years. But Zaquan is the recorder. He is the recorder, all right, and the scribe for the Masharah Yasha'al. This brother is a writer. You know anything about this brother? He got about 5 books out there, Barnes & Nobles, Zan's bookstore, all the bookstores, correct, Con? They got all the bookstores. They called him up and said, come to a book signing for us and sign your books. They called him to his colleges, bookstores. They called him up and they asked for him. They asked him specifically. Okay, and he comes to the book signing. He got a line long as this hall here, and he signs his name to the books. But his books are what? Are about what? The truth. Okay, we're gonna tell you. They're about. We got 5 books. They're about the truth. They're not about fiction and all that. They're about the truth. And he's teaching who we are and so forth, who the enemy is. All right. And you got icons in the books. Show him that Yahweh Shai is a black man with woolly hair. Okay, the disciples are black, the prophets are black. His brother, that's what his book's about. And he got doctors and lawyers and attorneys who are buying his books all throughout the country. He had Big Daddy Kane brought his book. Who else brought his book? A lot of brothers brought his books out. Okay, so all over the country. So he's a natural writer. So that's why we made him a scribe. So when we got to put anything into law and so forth, we get him to write it down. The Most High said, do everything in writing, come, and we got it written down. So this brother gonna bring out information about his department. All right, Zaquan.
Hey, Thwada of the Block, all praise to Yahweh, White Yahweh Shah. Just two quick things. One of the most important departments that I run is the pantry department. Started 2 years ago, and I noticed that I myself, I got actually connections to like a lot of household goods, you know, that I know Israel can use. At no cost to you, I can send, you know, to you things like household goods like toothpaste, laundry detergent, soap, batteries, toothbrushes, pens, toilet paper, herbal tea, deodorant, office supplies. If I can get my hands on it, I'm gonna send it to you, and everything is packaged up and it's brand new. So it's free of charge. After everything is said and done, I'm going to be over here on the side, and you can give me an address or wherever you want me to send this stuff to, and it's free of charge. I'll send these stuff out to you free of charge. Whoever I sent it to thus far, you know, I'll send you 3 or 4 or 5 boxes of stuff if you want me to, you know, because this stuff is going to run out pretty soon. And I'm not charging. There's no ulterior motive behind what I'm doing. I don't want nothing. It's just a service that I'm providing to the nation of Israel, because you need these things, you know, toothpaste, laundry detergent, soap, batteries, flashlights. Who can't use that? There's no ulterior. Right, it's right. Who can't use that, Daniela? You know, so it's on you. You know, and so far since I started,
and we're gonna raise up the food in a little while, like canned goods or whatever. Even though a lot of that canned stuff is trash, but still,
We're going to raise up the food a little while, but right now it's just merchandise. But we got to begin to do that, all right? Because eventually they're gonna take away stuff from Israel, all right? We got to begin to supply food and merchandise to our own people to the best of our ability before Esau begin to cut things off. Survival kits.
I get my hands on some of those too, emergency kits, Band-Aids, mouthwash, stuff like that. But since March, since I started the program, I've actually sent out 152 boxes. I'm not, hey, all praise to the Most High. I'm not going to give nobody a return address. So you need to give me the right address, because I'm not going to put my return address on it. You know, so if you send me the right address, it's going to get to you. You know, just give it to me, give me your address, and when I get back home, I'm going to jump on that immediately. Like I said, whatever I can fit in the box and give it to you, I'm going to send it out and I'm going to give it to you. You know, let me jump on that as soon as I get back home. I'm probably do it for the next month. But the next thing I wanted to mention also is that I came up with an Israelite directory book, and I got to give honor to honor is due. This brother right here, Dunyala. This book has been out actually for about maybe 3 years. You know, and every summit that I've actually went to, I just would add to it, brothers' professions, which we do, teachers. I just got a new one today from a brother in Sakari's camp. Deacon Sakari, his wife is a lawyer. How about that? All right, so she's getting added probably about 2 or 3 times to the book. All right, so one thing I got to give you credit. The brother Dunyala went live. You know, he had promoted it the last time we was in Atlanta. I love him for doing that, bro. I really do. I sincerely do. And he gave him a telephone number out. My phone never rings so much like that. I'm serious, man. All day long. Boy, I thought the phone was broke. All day long, man. I thought something was wrong with the phone, man. I kept looking, like, look at these numbers, man. Until the brother had called me, and I said, oh, okay, all day. I'm talking about for a week straight. So from that right there, I know during that week I had mailed out about maybe 58 during that week, and actually as a total now it's 178. I mean, I mailed out some from people still looking at your program from last week. So I want everybody to get this book right here in hand. From New York. I really appreciate that. I can talk to you afterwards, okay? So inside the book, it's updated from Atlanta, Georgia. And you have everybody that's in here. Opponents, like the brother said, electricians. Brothers gave me his wife's number, which is she's a lawyer. You have guys that had their own business as far as electricians. That's all in this book. Like the brother said, we got to support one another. You know, call up brothers in different states. You know, sisters in there too, selling oil, selling certain things. You want to say something?
But like you said, the brothers and sisters are putting their gifts and spiritual gifts and what they can do with their professional gifts and what they can do in here. Because that's what Israel needs. We need plumbers, right? We need construction workers. Because we're forming into a nation. We need that. We need attorneys, we need everything. Doctors, we need midwives. Brothers, we need certain people who can circumcise. We need brothers who can do funerals. Anybody can do a funeral? You know what I'm saying? Not that we're looking for brothers to start dropping dead, but I mean, we need that. Because why? We got to be self-sustaining, okay? We need brothers who can do marriages. Anybody can do marriages here? See? So we need your professional gifts and spiritual gifts and what you can do, okay? Even if you acquired what you know from Esau's world, but still it's a gift, okay? You're able to do it. Like you said, electrician. We need all that, brother. All right, so we need brothers who can do the qualities and things that you can do. We need it to build this nation. And so the brother was able to form this phone book, and he got now pictures all throughout here. It's getting thicker. Each summer it's getting thicker. So just put your name. You don't have to go around. Put your name and what you can do and your phone number, and you go inside the phone book. The Masharah Yasha'Allah phone book is right here. Come. So in Esau's world, he got a phone book. So we got one too. Esau's world got a flag, right? And we got one too. Understand? He got a military, well, we're forming one too. So now, yeah, how about that? So now, let's do what the brother was saying. Put your name and what you can do. All right, your profession and everything, and your phone number. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind of like the brother was saying. Everybody, pretty much is in here. We got school teachers, we got professional social workers, electricians. Okay, we got brothers.
brothers at computer consultants, network administrators, school teachers. We have all the engineers, we have farmers, all in this book right here. Some was added also, like about maybe 10 to 15 more people added since you had announced it. So we got professional cosmetologists, we got brothers that do HVAC, business cleaning services, CL drivers, weapons specialists, professional trainers. We got Mathopoli.
I just want to say, we have a doctor too. We have a doctor on board, but we never put her information in. And she said to tell y'all, I forgot. Yeah, I do. That's Ben's sister. But the sister is a doctor. So she said, to let y'all know, for family who have a problem with vaccination for your children, she can help with that. And she tell me to tell you, because she's watching now, she online. Our sister's yeast infection, man without a sickness. She said you can get to her email, she'll tell you the herbal products to take. Right? So she come to Israel with us, she travel with us. It's Barack's sister-in-law too. So she well known and she part of the Mashra show.
And she has a PhD. So if you got a degree such as that in Esau's world, right? That means you would a doctorate. Understand? So you got a degree in Esau's world, but now you're going to take what you learned in Esau's world and bring it into the nation. Come to help all people. Okay? It's enough help in Esau's world and taking all your qualities and gifts and helping Esau's people. Now we got to begin to help ourselves, right, Kun? And the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. Okay, Kun?
Computer specialists, garment makers, mechanics, IT administrators, home restoration, prior molders. This book is like about maybe 50 pages long. So when this is all said and done with, I'm going to be over here in the corner. I got about 25 of them. You can make a small donation for them, and I'll gladly give it to you. And write down your profession so I can put it in there and I can recycle it again for the next summit. And I'll do this immediately. If you give me your number today and what your profession is today, believe it or not, I have it in here tomorrow night. Am I lying, brother y'all? I have it in here tomorrow night, and I have it ready for you for the next summit. Or what I can do, you can give me a name and address, and I'll mail them out to you this week. Gun? Gun? All right, that's my time. All right, shalom. I've been knowing this man for 30 years. He never told me his sister was a doctor.
Me either, man.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah, so what Saquon has is very good because let's say, for instance, you in Chicago and you want to know what Israelite I can get in contact that has this information. It's here. So you could link up with that Israelite. Let's say you're in Memphis. Well, do you know anybody in Memphis that knows us? All the information is here. Get in contact with that person and you could network and correspond. That's what we're about. That's what we try to put down the ground and to establish. All right? Because networking amongst us is very important because Israel, we have resources, we have talents, we have gifts, we have ideas. Israel is the number one innovators in the face of the earth.
That's right.
But we never get credit for the things that we have created.
That's right.
So it's time for us to put that to use amongst us. All right? I say shalom. All right? Who's going to next? Somebody else? Kahani? Sharad? Oh, Sharad's been in the truth for 30 years. Over 30 years she's been in the truth. The sister we were just talking about is a doctor. We got a doctorate. She's been in the truth for a long time, 30 years. Okay? And so now she's ready to help what? Israel. She still has her job and so forth and helps Edomites and the people out in the world, but now she's ready to help her people. So now the key is, are you ready to help your people? Are you ready to now become part of the Mashra Allah, the government of Israel, to begin to build this nation? Because what does the scripture say? The gates of hell shall not prevail. Huh? It's not going to prevail, brother. So if you're out there talking negative against the Mashra Allah, it's going to go forward anyway. It's going to go forward. Because the Mashiach Yahweh said, Peter, I give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. So it will go forward. One way or the other is going to go forward and begin to be built. So we gotta begin to do it. And we're the Most High's battle axe and weapons of war, brother. We are. Okay?
When the Most High wants to go and destroy a nation, who does he send? Israel. He sends his servants, don't he? When the Most High tell the angel, go destroy the angels, do the angels get backlit? Do they get rebellious? So the Most High don't do it? No, they go and immediately do it. See? But our problem was we became rebellious and didn't do what the Most High wants us to do. And so we had to fall for that and come down to captivity. Now look at our enemies. Most of the time we're saying a fool, he gonna rule up over you. And now he's a fool. Donald Trump, a fool. A fool is up over you. Okay, come? So now the next brother that's coming up, okay, he's the priest of the nation, right? You gotta remember what the Most High set up, the 12 tribes of Israel when he came out of Egypt, what the Most High set up, the priesthood. Read the book of Leviticus. It's all about the Levitical priesthood. Right? That priesthood is very important because the Most High, who did he name as the priest? What tribe? Levi. The tribe of Levi. That's right. Okay, the tribe of Levi. I got news for you, and what? The priesthood is coming back. That's right. So any of you brothers are Levites out there, and you know you Levites for sure, you're going to talk to this brother, Priest Kahan. You're going to talk to him, and you're going to become part of the priest hood under the Marshal Rasha Allah, and Priest Kahan is that's his department. Okay? And we need that. We need the priest because the priest is going to set what in order, the laws, statutes, and commandments, and put this structure in order and serving the Most High and worshiping the Most High the way it's supposed to be done. Okay? Just like the priesthood is coming back. The order of Aaron is coming back. Okay? It's all coming back. The Zadok, the order, that priestly lineage is all coming back. That's right. Okay? And even in the kingdom of heaven, there's going to be some sacrifices done. That's right. Okay? There's going to be some. Every high holy day, you know there's sacrifices supposed to be done. You know that, right? That's right. Okay? Every high holy day, there's sacrifice. All that's coming back under the priesthood. So we got to get all that together. So Priest Kahan is going to tell you about that department. Give Priest Kahan.
Right, you want to drop. Come. So Priest Kahan based out in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Originally from Brooklyn, New York. You know, close to 3 decades, you know, in his truth. Been laboring with his boat for many years. But, you know, the Spirit's been moving me to actually put together this actual curriculum set up for the priesthood. So I'm putting together a 4-day event just like this summer. Okay, it's going to cover a lot of things that when you look at this actual book that Zaquan put together, the actual priests did all those things. They were what? They dealt with the law. They were porters. Okay, they were musicians. When you had leprosy in your house, they went to inspect your house to see if it was clean or unclean. Okay, but now we have other people doing different professions. But the priests were what? They were like what? Like all in one. Okay, a one-stop shop. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, those of you that are of the tribe of Levi, okay, we want to set up a 4-day event where we go and show you the different departments, the different things that you're dealing with. Like I myself, we have a active prison ministry in Florida that we go into the prisons once a week. Okay, so I'll be able to show you how do you go to your state or the city where you are, how do you get that prison ministry set up? How do you get recognized by the state to be able to go into the jails? All right. So the Elder Barak brought out about the vaccination, how the sister has that. I've been doing that for some time now. Okay, and people reaching out to me from different camps. I'm not saying, well, you're not at my camp, I'm not going to help you. But this is a national issue. Okay, to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Right. So I have letters set up for exemption for vaccination. For men, actually I have a situation now, a brother, the child was making him go in the bathroom and shave his beard because he works in, food industry. But I told him don't worry about that, I'm gonna get the letter out to him. Okay, I also have letters for sisters that maybe you're being forced to wear pants on your job. I have letters for that as well. Okay, and last but not least, the Sabbath day. Okay, last year there was a so-called Jew that won a lawsuit of $10,000 because they forced him. He was advanced order. They tried to force him to work on the Sabbath. So why is that we, the children of Israel, that was given the Sabbath day, that we are not observing the Sabbath, but we got the so-called white man saying he's a Jew, winning lawsuits, okay, and being exempt from work on the Sabbath day that was given to us as a nation, right? So we have letters for that as well. So in this 4-day curriculum class, you're gonna learn the Paleo Hebrew, okay? Learn how to do the Sabbath service like we did earlier, the anointing prayer, being able to go out to hospitals when people are sick. A lot of times the person's sick, they're looking for people to come and visit them, see how they're doing. Okay, going to the hospital, visiting the less fortunate, having a food drive. Okay, clothes pantry. Look at our people out there, less fortunate. Okay, so sometimes you might have something that you don't need anymore. Bring it to the pantry. Okay, we can give it to those that they'll be glad to get that. So these are things that the priest. Give me Numbers 3 and 12. Numbers 3 verse 12. So showing you the importance of the priesthood. Because every time when Israel went into captivity, while we lost our rulership, how did the Most High deal with Israel? Okay, through the priests. Even the kings had to report to the priests. They knew that they were dealing directly with the Most High. Read that.
The book of Numbers 3, chapter 3, verse 12.
Come on.
And I, behold, I have taken the Levites,
Taking the who?
I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel.
So I'm like, this is something where I'm compelled. I can't even resist the spirit of the Most High. Because the Most High called out Levites amongst all the tribes to do this office. Come on.
I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that open up the matrix among the children of Israel.
So now, through the years, people have always referred to me as priest. It's not only to say, well, I'm a so-called Haitian, and I'm a Levite, I'm a priest. But people actually know they can call on me for different things. Right. Getting a letter, going to the hospital, going to the jail. I actually, there's brothers that are part of the prison ministry. When we go visit them, they say, priest, could you come? I got a court date. I go and show them support, but they got to go to court. And these are people, I don't know them from nowhere. A lot of these guys, like when you get locked up, you might be living in California, they'll ship you all the way to Florida just to keep you away from your family. So a lot of times they don't have anybody there. So they're looking for that moral support, someone to come there, because when a judge is coming to you saying, you're looking at 30 years, there was one of the brothers, he just got sentenced to 20 years. So you have our people going through this. What they're doing now, Esau is taking away our children. Okay, put them in foster care. And what is that, modern day slavery? What do they do to us in slavery? They would put the parents in one plantation and ship the children on to another plantation. This is modern day slavery. Right, so they need our support. So these are the things that we want to build our men up, the priests, and these are things that they need to do, okay, to support the nation. Okay, give me Deuteronomy 33 and 10. And this is being what? A living sacrifice. Okay, a living sacrifice. Read that.
Deuteronomy 33, verse 10.
Come on.
They shall teach Jacob thy judgments, and Israel thy law.
So who's the they? The they is what? The tribe of Levi. Read it again.
They shall teach Jacob thy judgments, and Israel thy law.
And Israel the law. Okay? That's why the Most High turned his back on us. Why? Because why? We are strayed away from the Lord's statutes and commandments. Okay? He said our iniquities have separated us from our power. So the only thing that's going to bring us back to the Most High is what? They're coming back to the Lord's statutes and commandments that are contained in the book. Come on.
They shall put incense before thee, and whole burnt sacrifice upon thy altar.
So like the elder Barak said that what? When we get back into the kingdom, we're going to do the sacrifices again. Okay? Give me Deuteronomy 18 and 5. Deuteronomy 18 verse 5. So we're looking for a few good men of the tribe of Levi. We have Eleazar. Okay, y'all can stand up. Brothers of Allah. These are the men that's already part of the priesthood department. Okay, that's going to help facilitate and get these men on board. Okay, read that.
Deuteronomy 18 verse 5.
Read.
For the Most High thy power hath chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Most High, him and his sons forever. For how long? Forever.
Right, it says forever. Okay, yeah, it says we're going to be a kingdom of priests, meaning what? That all men are going to know the Lord. But the tribe of Levi still holds the office of the priesthood. Okay, and that's a special office. Give me Ezekiel 44 and 14.
Ezekiel 44 and 14.
Also, you know, one day I was, you know, I watched this conscious community something that go on there, and like for like 2-3 weeks straight, they've been trying to bash Israel, trying to talk about the Bible. They say, well, we don't. I'm a licensed insurance agent, all lines of insurance, car insurance, life insurance, health insurance. They act like, you know, Israel has no knowledge of life insurance. I've been in insurance for over 20 years. Okay, so we have the information, we have the resources. You know, if you're interested, you know, I'm a licensed notary. Okay, I'm licensed to officiate weddings. Okay, we also deal with the Green Burial Society that the brother Zafar, he's in Maryland. Okay, that we can actually do an Israelite burial. Okay, according to the Bible. So all these things coming to the priesthood class, you'll be able to learn all these things, how to perform a wedding. Okay, how to perform, how to carry out a funeral. Because a lot of times, brothers in the truth, 15, 20 years, and when they die, they end up in a Catholic church getting buried. Okay, that shouldn't be that way. Okay, so we have all these things set up. You just got to be able to take advantage of it and utilize it. Come on.
Ezekiel 44 and 14. Read. But I will make them keepers of the charge of the house.
So again, the them is talking about who? The tribe of Levi. Come on.
For all the service thereof, and for all that shall be done therein.
Right? All that shall be done. Okay? So we got to come back to the natural order of the Most High. Okay? There's a lot of, so many doctrines out there. Okay? But the Most High, we got to put this whole thing in perspective with the priesthood. Okay? From the Most High, rain down in Israel and get this thing back in order. Okay? Esau already, he put out there about 400 years of captivity here in America. All right, so they know that their time is coming up. They know that what? They even had USA Today. I don't know if you saw that USA Today. It was February, so-called Black History Month, that they put up. It was entitled "The Exodus." Okay, they entitled it "The Exodus." All right. So what other time was that word Exodus used? When we left out of ancient Egypt. Showing that the white man knows that what? That America is that spiritual Egypt as well. All right, so what are we going to do at this 400 years? A lot of you keep saying, and I keep repeating this thing, you talking about, well, I'm waiting for Yahweh Shai to come back. Yahweh Shai is waiting for us to get in order.
That's right.
But guess what? We made America our rest. Okay, we got to seek Zion. How many of you here have a passport? Okay, there's no reason why you have not taken a trip to Zion. To Israel. Okay, I've been there about 6-7 times myself. Okay, I remember one year we were having a summit, and I was telling brothers, yo, I'm going to Israel. And I didn't know anything about Damon or anything like that. I just knew in my spirit, when I came to the truth, I always wanted to go to Israel. Right? So I said, I traveled there by myself. People looked at me like I was crazy. Okay, but I always had the zeal to want to go to Israel. I know that's our homeland. Okay, so everybody here, you must take that pilgrimage. Like in the Islam, right? They always got to take a pilgrimage to go to Mecca. Right? So we as Hebrew Israelites, we should take that trip to go to Zion. I mean, we met some beautiful people in Dimona. We building a communication relationship with them. That these, you know, we had the other elder. In Atlanta, he said he's been in over 50 years. Okay, the support, and he said he had what he saw, what he witnessed in Atlanta. He was waiting over 50 years to see something like that. But this is the time the Most High is bringing. He's bringing all these families together. Because the scripture says that what? That the elect is going to see eye to eye. Okay, the Most High is calling together the elect. We don't know who the elect is, but you in your spirit, you know that you are striving for the election or striving for perfection. Okay, so let's bring this thing again. So I'm going to let the brothers, they want to say anything. Liaison?
Yeah, man, just silver backing off with the elder priest. I want to say, man, it's very important for the tribe of Levi to get in order. You know, we don't have our temple in place. Our typical ancient job, you know, that we had came to an end, you know, when the destruction of our temple. We're talking about 70 AD, right? But there's still things that in the spirit of what we've been assigned to do that we can do, like the elder was going into, the prison program, marrying people, right? Writing exemption letters, things of that nature. So it's a message to all the so-called ancient, all the Levites out there. And what you know, Levi is not just in Haiti. You have brothers all over, we scattered throughout the 12 tribes. A lot of people get simple about, oh, Levi just in Haiti. No, we are scattered. But if you know anything, if you actually knew about Haiti, you would know it's about something called the Haitian diaspora. We're all over the world. We're the only tribe that literally got a community in every tribe right now. You go to Argentina, you're going to find Haitians. You go to Chile, you're going to find Haitians. You see what I'm saying? We're in every tribe, right? So, but it's important that we grab a hold on to the responsibility that we were given by Yahweh. Right, we made a covenant. He said, my covenant was with thee, right? So we have to take initiative as a tribe of Levi, and we ask the nation to lean upon us, right, and hold us accountable and responsible and let us do our job. You know, so that's all I want to say.
I just want to add something to that, and that's spiritual. Because when you read the scriptures, the Most High always sent out, he dispatched out a certain amount of Levites to do what? To minister in that location. So when he's saying, you know that's true. Okay, you're going to find a Levite in all these countries. Why? Because the Most High has them there to what? To minister that law amongst our people.
Okay, let's give the Most High, how about you try hand priest Kahan? That's with the Levi department. And Ben, get Jeremiah 50:5, but he did bring out something very important about the 2019 year of return. As you know, 400 years we've been in America, right? That's what they say. That's what's written down in the books. It's in the Library of Congress. We came in 1619, right? There's 2019. That's 400 years. Well, what does the prophecy say? What did the Most High prophesy to Abraham? 400 years. He's going to bring us out, okay? And the nation who held us in bondage, he's going to punish that nation. All right, come? So we've been here 400 years. But it did not necessarily mean it's going to be the day of the 400th year, okay? So it's a beginning process, okay, of us coming out and being redeemed out of this modern day Egypt. Come? It's a beginning process. We didn't go through the tribulation period yet, okay? We didn't go through the 7 seals. You read Revelation yet, okay? The Great Tribulation didn't come yet. So there's still prophecy that hasn't happened yet. But this is the beginning. The 400th year, the beginning of the end of the process. Esau is the end of what? And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. How about that? Okay? So understand that. And also the brothers, let's link with Demona. They have the 2019 year return back to Ghana. Ghana opened up its borders. They said you can go back. And it's not that difficult. Okay? Yeah, you still may need a passport and visa, but they open up their borders. You can go there right now and then buy housing or whatever, buy property, and they will help you get it. Ghana, the Ghanaian government said this. Because they know as a people what we went through. Okay? And a lot of our people still are in Ghana. A lot of our people are still dwelling in Ghana, in Liberia, Ivory Coast, Mali, Nigeria. So a lot of our people are still there. Not to say we're not Africans, we know we're not Africans. But a lot of our people are still in Africa. Okay, all right, and so that's when we read this scripture. The brother spoke about Mount Zion. We know that this government, Mashwasha Allah, is going to be transformed from here over to Mount Zion because the Most High says what, Ben? Jeremiah 50:5?
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 5. They shall ask the way to Zion.
They're going to ask the way to Zion. Did it say to America? Did it say into any states here in America? They're going to ask the way to Zion. Go ahead.
With their faces thitherward.
Your faces are be going towards Zion. So that's why the brother brought out, you should make a trip to the Holy Land. Because those laws never change. The High Holy Day was supposed to go up to Jerusalem or what? Passover, right? Feast of Tabernacles, Day of Pentecost, First Fruits. We're supposed to go to Jerusalem, to Mount Zion, the tabernacle of David. That law never stopped. That law never changed. Come? So we're supposed to, and it doesn't matter where you are on earth. Most High said, make your way there. So as a people, we got to begin to look towards Zion. Because the joy of the whole earth, the scripture says what? Mount Zion. Go ahead, Ben, finish.
Saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Most High in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
A perpetual covenant. And the Most High said he's going to bring what back to us? The covenant of the laws, statutes, and commandments. And he's going to bring a new covenant and make a new covenant with us. A perpetual covenant. Okay? But the Most High going to do it here? Hell no. Most High ain't going to do it here in America. He's going to do it in Mount Zion. Okay. Let me see how the spirit, when the truth come out, you see what happens. Okay, that's all right. We're going to roll on.